Hello and welcome to the Maple Grove City Report. I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us with Heidi Nelson, Maple Grove City Administrator. Welcome once again to the program.
Thank you.
We've got the one and only July meeting for the Maple Grove Council to talk about, so a little bit longer agenda here. It was about an hour and a half meeting, one item that took a bulk of the time, about half of the time, so we'll get to that in just a minute. Let's talk consent agenda, and as we've seen kind of a pattern here, we have some retirements happening in the city, and a few council members wanted to pull a few retirement notices to make sure they mention the people. Tell us about those two.
Yeah, Rick Listina, our water resources engineer, is retiring at the end of the month. Been with the city for close to 20 years. Rick has served as the staff liaison to our Lake Quality Commission, and then also has provided service to the watersheds in the area. So Rick is well known throughout the community, and certainly with our lake dwelling residents. Rick does great work. So Rick will be departing at the end of July, and we wish him all the best in his retirement.
Yes.
Yes, and then the second one is Sergeant Tom Ingalls. Tom's been, I think he's been in the law enforcement field for 37 years or something like that, and been with the department for many, many of those years. So we look forward to celebrating Tom. His last day with the city will be August 31st, and he's moving on to his next chapter, and so congratulations to Sergeant Ingalls as well.
Happy retirement to both. One other item on the consent agenda that was not pulled, but we wanted to make mention that has to do with getting some streets redone in the city. Tell us about this nice work that happened. Yeah,
so this is our annual street maintenance bond issuance. We go out and issue some debt for those street maintenance projects, and as you know, a portion of that gets specially assessed out to the residents and the businesses, depending on the roads where it's located. So we did have our bond sale on Monday morning, and we had a successful bond sale, interest rate of about 2.79%, so that's hard to beat.
Wonderful.
And then the city's AAA bond rating was reconfirmed. So you know, continued financial health for the city reflected there.
Very good.
Yep.
Let's move ahead to special business from the meeting on July 16th. The first item was Rock Elm. This is a new restaurant, I understand, coming to town, and a liquor license process. How did that go? Yeah,
so Rock Elm Tavern will be located in the Grove, kind of in that inline existing retail space there, kind of on the west side of the little main street that runs through that area. So we're really excited about this. This has been something that we hear from the residents and the businesses in that area wanting a bit more of a sit-down type restaurant with, you know, and this will have a full bar and whatnot up in that area. So they plan to be open kind of right after Labor Day, September 4th. Troy Redding was there as the GM of this new restaurant, and so we're looking forward to that. They have a current location in Plymouth right off of Highway 55, and then they also have Coleman something down at the Saints Stadium. So a couple different operations under their belt, so we're looking forward to having them in town.
Very good.
Yep.
Next item was me, and normally we get to talk about the meetings here, but this time I had a chance to be at a meeting, and the reason was because a recent history program that we completed for the city of Maple Grove, so I had the great chance to talk to the mayor and the council about the history project and the Preservation Society that worked with us on that, and I understand from the city standpoint, not only is this something that the public can obviously see and enjoy and learn about the history, but you have ideas from a city standpoint of how you can use this. How will that work?
Yeah, so this is a great piece that you put together, so thank you for the folks that contributed from the Historical Society and in town, as well as CCX efforts on this. It was great. We are going to roll this into our new employee orientation program. I think it really provides a great perspective to folks that may not understand the history of Maple Grove and how it was developed or how it continues to develop, and so this is a really great piece, and it's we have it, or you can get it off the CCX Media website, and that's linked through our website. So if people haven't had a chance to catch it on Channel 12 or you know, another airing, they certainly could go catch it online.
Very good.
Yep.
And I want to mention the people behind the scenes to this program on a regular basis are big factors in that and help out make that happen, Matt Kilby and David Dobrin. So thanks guys behind the screen as well for helping us out with the history project. Next was Age-Friendly Maple Grove. We've talked about this multiple times through the process and through some of the input, and it looks like it's getting towards the final stage here. So what happened at the meeting? Yeah,
so the committee has been working on putting together their action plan and implementation schedule. So they started, you know, this started number of years ago in a concept phase and worked through a very broad community engagement process of trying to identify what the issues were here in Maple Grove in terms of being an age-friendly community. So now we have an action plan that has some timetables to it that really tries to address those issues from the built environment to programs and policies in the community to help us really become that age-friendly community. So number of members, Marie Maslowski from the hospital was there, Chris Orlock, Mr. Carpenter that has been a co-chair on that committee to present that, and so we really appreciate the community's work and certainly their engagement through kind of that public engagement process, because that was pretty broad and rigorous, and so it gave a really good foundation to the work going forward. So more to come on this, and as every kind of piece of the action plan comes forward, some of it is more internal work that we'll roll in. Some things might need some outside help, and so if there's financial things tied to that, those things will come back before either the council or the park board. So we'll be working through that as we go forward.
Very good. So we might have more opportunities to talk about it and tell you about that as well. Next portion within the special business was the longest portion of the meeting, and this had to deal with liquor violations. And this has happened in the past. There's been some times where there's been 0. This time there was 4. Give us a little background again. What's this process? Why do these come before the council, and what occurred at the meeting? Yeah,
so our police department on a biannual basis goes out and does liquor compliance checks. So they were out on June 7th going into all of our establishments, and they bring an underage decoy. So we utilize a member from the community that's that underage person, 18 years old but not 21, at least 18, not 21, that they can come in and they're accompanied, or there's police department staff with them in the background, and they go into the businesses and attempt to purchase alcohol. And so we had 4 violations this last, 4 failures this last time when we were out in June. So now this is the process of them coming before the council for the disposition of those violations. So we had Chipotle Mexican Grill, the one on Main Street down in downtown Maple Grove, Fiesta Cancun Mexican Grill and Bar, new restaurant in town, and then Hung Thai over at the Fountains, and then Trader Joe's for an off sale. So for those folks, they're provided the opportunity to come before the council and talk about what happened and really what are they doing to try to change their operation or improve their operation to make sure this doesn't happen again. I think from a council perspective, I think their main concern is this was the time we were there and this happened. What's happening when we're not there? And that are we routinely not checking IDs? Are we selling to minors? Is this happening on a regular basis? And so it's really important to the city council that our liquor license holders take that privilege and that obligation seriously, and that they're really following and adhering to the laws of the state. And so we do have a program in place that it's a minimum $2,000 fine. Most of them were provided either a 2-day suspension or in the case of Chipotle it was a 5-day suspension. So there's kind of a range that the council can consider. But again, this is routine business that we go out and do, trying to ensure compliance with our liquor license holders. Okay, very good. Let's move ahead to community development. One item that was touched on that has been moving through the process. This is the Abra Auto Repair up by Menards. What step of the process are we in? And there were a few points that were mentioned in the discussion. Tell us about that. Yeah, so this was development stage plan and final plat approval. So this is kind of the last piece for this one before moving forward to construction. So this is kind of right behind Menards, or behind kind of their lumber yard area there. Really nice architecture on this one. This is an Abra auto body. They do have some significant fencing and quite attractive fencing for the site because they do keep a secured yard, for cars that are either awaiting repair or have been completed, that kind of a thing. So that's kind of how that site works. There's some wetlands in the area as well as some stormwater considerations. So a little extra emphasis on this one and some details to work through there. But yeah, I think this will be a nice addition up there there back behind Menards.
All right, and then looking ahead, there was a little bit of an update of some of the items in the pipeline in community development, and there's a lot. There's a lot that's working right now, and the next meeting could be very busy. Just give us a little preview of some of the items coming up.
Yeah, August 6th council meeting. We'll have a pretty long agenda. A few items were noted in this agenda to be tabled to August 6th. So if folks have been following along, the caribou that's proposed up at the Grove, kind of across from the hospital, that'll be coming back. The request by the shops to kind of change that internal plaza area, that's coming back. Hy-Vee South will be on the August 6th agenda, and it appears they're going to be moving forward there. So we're really excited about bringing that one forward. And then going forward, we have several new submittals that'll be coming through the Planning Commission during the month of August, and then likely the council will see them either late August or early September. Mainly residential development associated with those kind of scattered around town. So it's going to be a busy balance, rest of the summer and early fall. All
right, we'll keep you up to date. Keep watching, and we'll let you know what happens with those after the August meetings. Now on to Public Works Engineering, and something that's a little bit further out. This is like 2020 further out, 94 resurfacing, and Ken Asheville has been talking about this for quite some time. Give us a little preview of why we're talking about this so early ahead and some of the opportunities for the public to hear more.
Yeah, so this project, and it's called the Unbonded Overlay Project.
Okay.
Kind of a technical
fancy
name for this. Yeah. So MnDOT is going to be advancing some of this work out on the I-94 corridor. I think some of it mainly driven by just the congestion issues we're experiencing out there, particularly at the 610 merge point. So this project begins really at the Fish Lake Split and goes all the way to Rogers. And it would be a kind of a resurfacing of I-94 with the addition of a lane. So trying to address some of that congestion out there. They're still working through the design elements and what that lane is.
Right.
Is that a general purpose lane? Is it a managed lane? They have different options that they're looking at for that. I think from a city perspective, we'd like to see that be a general use lane. Just so that it really tries to address some of the capacity issues that we know are there on a day-to-day basis. In addition to that, the Brockton interchange up on kind of our, at the edge of just north of Maple Grove into Dayton.
Right.
That project got some funding through the state legislative session this last year, so that is going to be coupled up with this Unbonded Overlay project and get constructed. And so the time frame for this is really, it would start construction in about 2020, and it's an 18-month-long project. So it would go into 2021, and will likely be pretty painful during that process. Likely portions of it will look a little bit like the 494 project that extended from 394 up to 694. So a couple of different points or opportunities to provide feedback or input about this. There's a public information meeting. It's tomorrow night. So coming up here quick, but information's been put out on our Facebook website, whatnot. Thursday, July 19th at 6 p.m. and that one's in the EOC, so the lower level of the government center. This is just a general purpose open house, and so MnDOT will be there, WSB staff, to address questions from the public. And then as a part of this project, MnDOT is looking at, they always take into consideration when they're doing any type of expansion or improvement, noise considerations along the corridor. They are proposing to do some noise walls through those segments in Maple Grove, and as a part of that, the community has an opportunity to provide input. So on July 31st at 6 p.m., there would be an open house at Church of the Open Door, and MnDOT and design staff would be on hand again, and that one is primarily just going to be focused on that noise wall component. So more to come on that project. Again, on August 6th, MnDOT will be there that evening to hear from the City Council and provide an update on that. This is a project that's going to be done kind of in that design-build format, so they're going to get design and to a certain point, and then they'll get a contractor on board, and then the balance of that design work will occur, kind of with that contractor on board, and helps kind of move the process along a little bit more quickly. So more to come on this one, but yeah, this is one we're going to be paying a lot of attention to.
Exactly. So we'll bring you an update after that August 6th meeting. One other item under Public Works was you might see some orange cones and signs and construction happening around the Cub Coles area, a little bit of a regular project, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, this is the mill and overlay project. That road has gotten a little rough in recent years, and so this one was put on the list to come in quick and do a mill and overlay. We are going to be doing some of that work evenings, overnights, because it's not right in a residential area. We can do that a little bit more to accommodate the business traffic during the daytime hours. So just a heads up, if you're coming through that area, likely, some lane closures, those kinds of things to pay attention to.
Very good.
Yep.
Final items from the meeting on the 16th. Heidi had a few updates. One was another event that's happening on July 31st, and this is bringing some pretty important people from the state to town. What is happening?
Yeah, so DEED hosts a program, Minnesota First Stop for businesses, really trying to grow business in the state of Minnesota. And so it's a multi-agency program that really tries to streamline things for business that's looking to locate here in Minnesota. So on the 31st, the DEED commissioners, there's about 9 commissioners and some of their staff, will be touring a number of businesses. I think they're starting in Little Falls and stopping in St. Cloud. They'll be in Rogers, at FedEx, and then they're going to be ending their day here in Maple Grove. They've asked us to host them. We're going to be out at Rush Creek. We are thinking the governor is going to be in attendance. We've been told that this is on his calendar, and hopefully he'll be able to attend. But always a great opportunity to host a number of commissioners from state agencies here in Maple Grove. We've also invited a number of key business folks here in town. We're kind of taking a med tech industry approach to this one, and some of those folks will be participating in the program, as well as representatives from the I-94 Coalition, sort of representing the importance of our transportation investment in supporting business. So this is going to be kind of a big night. We're really honored that they picked to Maple Grove to stop and have dinner and asked us to host that, and we're happy to be able to do that.
Very good.
Yes.
We'll have a little recap about that night on the next program that we tape. A couple other quick items coming up. Budget, believe it or not, is already in discussion, so you have a workshop coming up, and also the HR director interviews. That process will be continuing in the next month, is that correct?
Yeah, we're hoping to do those interviews kind of the 3rd week of August, and then hopefully we'll be in front of the council with a recommendation in September.
All right. That is your meeting from the 16th of July. Let's move ahead to some other things happening around the city. And if you were in Maple Grove over the past week or so, you were part of Maple Grove Days.
Yes.
Give us a little recap. How did things go?
Well, it went really well. And we kicked it off. There's a number of little events throughout the week, but really the big kickoff is the parade on Thursday night. And there was a little hand-wringing going on because a significant storm cell was about ready to move through at about 5 o'clock. And so kind of amazing. I was on the phone with the fire chief, who's our emergency management director for the city, and he said, I think this is going to wrap up at about 6:40. So if we can push things 10-15 minutes, I think we're going to be okay. And he was right. So,
yes, they were exactly right.
Yeah, so we pushed things back about 10-15 minutes, and everything was a little damp, but it went off without a hitch. So it was great to get the parade in, and very nice evening in Maple Grove. Friday night coronation, we have new ambassadors to talk about. Katya Cuthbert, Sophie Klons, and Madison Nathy. 3 lovely new women to represent Maple Grove. They were in the Hopkins parade already on Sunday.
Put to work.
Yeah, so they've had a busy weekend already and a great year ahead. So that was Friday night. Got an opportunity to attend that. And then Saturday, all the events over at the community center. Hot day, but very well attended. The business expo was packed. And then all the outdoor events for kids and whatnot. And then capped off by the fireworks in the evening. Rotary bed races were out on the street. That's always a fun event. So lots of good things there. And one more note on the ambassadors, our own Callie Marino is off to the Aquatennial to compete to be one of our, the Aquatennial princesses.
Best of luck there.
And Ellie Brumer is just finishing up her year being an Aquatennial princess. So we're rooting for Callie this next week, and hopefully she's selected and continues to go on to represent Maple Grove. So all in all, I think everybody had a good time, and the weather, didn't get us, and so it was a good time had by all.
And hats off again to the Maple Grove Community Organization. Again, the city is helping in some of this, but that volunteer group just does an amazing job.
Yeah, I got an email from Deb Syrie, I think on Tuesday morning, and I think she'd, kind of caught her breath after the weekend.
Right.
And, this organization puts the event together, and it's really we stand in support, really, of that from a police, fire, public works, and then just the administration of the event perspective. But they do really a great job in putting on this community festival.
All right, so great job on Maple Grove Days, fun had by all, and we'll see you next summer. Let's talk about the photo contest. The closing is actually as we're taping this program, so people, it looks like, have been very busy submitting photos and also doing some voting. Give us an update there.
Yeah, 270 entries have been submitted and 890 votes cast for the viewer's choice, so that's pretty good. Judging will take place in August, and then they'll come forward to a city council meeting, probably, I don't know, if later September timeframe to be recognized.
All right, we'll try to get some of those pictures your way after they win. Elections, it is an election year, and again, the city of Maple Grove a little different in how you handle primary, and no need for a primary. Give us a little preview of what we should look for in an election this year.
Yeah, so primary day, August 14th at the state level offices. We don't have a primary here for city council level election. We are doing absentee voting today, right now, up at the Government Center. You can come in and absentee vote in advance if you'd like. Second floor of the Government Center, you can come up there. It's in our administration area. Regular election day, November 6th. Absentee voting prior to the general election will be in the EOC, kind of the lower level of the Government Center, because we expect a lot more volume, of course, for the general election. We are looking for election judges. This is a paid position. We do pay $10 an hour for this, and we have opportunities for you to work kind of prior to the elections, work absentee, that kind of a thing, and then also, of course, the day of the election. So encourage people to get out and absentee vote this year. One other element, council filing, city council filings open on July 31 and close on August 14th, the day of the election. So
very good.
Information on our website about that as well.
Yep, stop there. A lot of election information. Now this next one, I like the name of it, and we'll find out more about it. Stormwater A Go-Go.
All right.
What could that be?
So this is an interactive story map that's been created by our city engineering department staff, and it kind of tracks where does your stormwater go in the community. So it helps you kind of follow the path as to where the water ends up when it goes down, you know, the drain out in front of your house. And I think some folks would be surprised to understand that, you know, the water that's there or whatever else is in the street, you know, ends up in our lakes and streams and you know, watershed basins, and so kind of important to follow that along.
So some things to think about as you fertilize the lawn or wash the car or do all those things right by your house. Again, this is a great way to see what does happen. Let's talk a little recruitment. We have firefighter recruitment coming up. Tell us about some deadlines coming there. Yeah, so applications are accepted through August 10th, and this is for part-time paid-on-call firefighters. Information is available at maplegrovefire.info. Again, this is a great opportunity if you're thinking about, you know, an opportunity to serve or ways to serve the community, and you come as you are. We don't need you to come as a firefighter or with any training or preparation. We provide all of that to you on both the, you know, the fire and the medical side. So it's also a great opportunity to kind of expand your skill set as well, and then get that community service element. So encourage people to apply if they're interested by August 10th. All right, mgfire.info if you want to find out some more information. A couple other things under public safety. The police department is busy. We've got a fundraiser coming up for KALO, who you're going to be hearing more about at the next council meeting. Tell us about the fundraiser. Yeah, so Saturday, July 21st, coming up here quick. Maple Grove, or Brothers Meats and Seafoods are going to be hosting a fundraising event in the parking lot out by JCPenney there. And this is a fundraising event to purchase a life-saving vest for KALO. You know, this is really kind of an opportunity to engage with the community, and this business stepped forward and wanted to do something in support of the program, and so we're happy to participate in that, and KALO will be there that day, and there's going to be some neat things. There's a dunk tank, and I've heard that the mayor is going to be in the dunk tank. I'm not, you know, show up to see that, but we'll see how that goes. But an opportunity for, you know, food will be available for purchase, and then music, outdoor games, photo booth, and raffle. So a great opportunity to support the community. And then, yes, KALO will be at the August 6th meeting to be sworn in. So it should be a fun evening. More to come on that. Yes. A couple ways to get involved in public safety in the city and also learn a little bit more. One is the Citizens Police Academy, and two would be National Night Out. Give us a little preview of both of those great opportunities for residents. Yeah, so Citizens Police Academy applications are being accepted.
for this program today. It's held 11 Tuesday evenings, starting September 25th, and each night is kind of a different topic to learn kind of about police and public safety in the community. And this is free of charge to residents, students, business owners. Applications are available on our website.
Yeah, great opportunity. I always hear many great things about the people that go through that program. Also hear great things about people that participate and not compete, but get involved in National Night Out. Tell us about that big event that's coming up in early August.
Tuesday, August 7th. I think this is the second best day in Maple Grove,
okay,
right?
There we go.
National Night Out behind Maple Grove Days. So we invite everybody to come out during the day for the community celebration over at the community center. There's a big cookout. Police staff, Police Chief Werner will be out there cooking hot dogs, so it's your opportunity to have the chief cook your lunch. And that's a great, lots of organizations come out that day to display kind of their public safety equipment and programs. And then of course all of the police, fire, public works, we head out in the evening and visit. I think the goal is to get to 200 parties this year, and I think Todd had about 170 a couple weeks ago, so we might get there, so that's pretty exciting. So we really encourage, if you're thinking about it, to do a block party for your neighborhood, you know, can easily be put together, and the police department provides a lot of support materials to that. So we're looking forward to Tuesday, August 7th.
All right, and again, that daytime activity is at the community center, right out in front of the community center, so stop by and join in on that. Speaking of that area, Farmers Market is going strong in that same vicinity. Tell us about, again, the dates and times and some of the goodies that might be there. Yeah,
so every Thursday now till into October, outside 3 to 7 p.m. There's always music, and all the programs are there in place, and you know the sweet corn season is coming, so that's a big attraction here. So really encourage people to get out. Lots of time left here this summer to get lots of great produce.
And after you eat all of that at the farmers market, you need to work it off a little bit. How about a game of pickleball?
Yeah,
it's big in the city of Maple Grove, and you have some great locations for it.
Yeah, so we have outdoor courts at Lakeview Knolls Park, and of course at Central Park, and then of course the indoor locations at the community gymnasium down at the middle school.
All right. Some other recreational opportunities. This is a fun one and a new one. Pop-Up Rec. Tell us a little bit about what this is and who you're targeting this to. Yeah,
so this brings activities for youth ages 10 to 18 to various Maple Grove parks. Free program, so we have some adult programmers out there. They play different games with the kids, capture the flag, kickball, bocce ball, many more. So Central Park is from 4 to 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. The 18th of July, 25th, August 1st, August 15th, and then Weaver Lake Park, they'll be there again 4 to 6 p.m. on Thursdays, July 19th, 26th, August 2nd, and August 2nd, 9th, and 16th. So our Park and Rec staff is out there with red shirts, so you can kind of see them from afar, and so we encourage youth 10 to 16 to come out, or 10 to 18 and come out and join in the fun.
Good way to get some exercise. Also, maybe a way to learn a new game or a new activity as well. Bocce ball out there would be some fun. Lightning, we all know how that works there. Town Green, tell us about the Town Green and some of the things going on. That is a great place to be. It was during Maple Grove Days and now throughout the rest of summer. Yeah,
our music programs are continuing going strong. So this Friday, though, is La La Land, the movie La La Land will be playing at the Town Green.
And you'll have a front row seat?
I think so. I love this movie. This is a good one. Movies start at dark. Our concession stand is open. And then, of course, the musical performances 7 p.m. Monday and Wednesday evenings. And then the kids' entertainment Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. And all of this is free to the community.
Excellent. All on the city's website, so you can pick your favorite concert or movie as well. Heidi, thank you very much again for your time and the report. Again, next meeting coming up. Let's take a look at that date. It is Monday, August 6th. 7:30 at the Government Center. Website, we mentioned it a number of times during the program, so all that information about things that are coming up, the election, of course, as well, maplegrovemn.gov. Phone number at the bottom of the screen. Viewer response line 533-1710. Questions or comments about the program, we'd be happy to answer those. For Heidi Nelson, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks again for joining us.